Cal Pac Tournament Pride and Glory. We are coming to you live from Burbank Park, right here in a special edition of the Buccaneers Sports Network. Number 1, Benedictine. Number 2, Westcliff. Number 3, Simpson University. And number 4, UC Merced, ready to spike and serve for a shot at the NAIA postseason right here on the Buccaneers Sports Network. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joe Pequeno. So glad you could join us right here from Mesa, Arizona. Well, number 1, Benedictine, they are postseason bound. The squad, the number 1 team in the country, will face number 4, UC Merced in this opening matchup. Number 1, Benedictine, led by the conference coach of the year in Taylor Stallman. The squad, red hot, ranked number 1 in the nation. They've won 19 in a row. They tore through the conference with a record of 12-0, 20-3 overall. They're led by the conference player of the year in Landon Fuller and the attacker of the year in Dupree Rogers. On the other side for UC Merced, head coach Pac Championsips. He's got some firepower as well. His team comes in with a record of 19-13 overall, 6-6 in league play, and they're led by all-conference first-teamer Chris Morikawa, who leads the conference in kills per set at almost 4. And he's got some talented players around him. On the outside, in Ryan Kilgore, and extreme setter extraordinaire in Toby Miller. It's 4 versus 1. We have the opening matchup of the Cal Pac Men's Conference Tournament coming to you live from Burbank Park. The starting lineups and more coming up in just a moment. And we welcome you back to Burbank Park in Mesa, Arizona, as we're closing in on the first round opening matchup of the Cal Pac Men's Volleyball Tournament between number 1 Benedictine and number 4 UC Merced. The Bobcats finished their season in a tough fashion, losing at 2 seed Westcliff in 4 sets. Bobcats and coach Pac Championsips finished March with a record of 3-6, so not the best momentum coming into Mesa. Outside hitter Chris Morikawa leads the conference in kills per set with almost 4. The senior, had a chance to talk to him yesterday. He wants to go out with a bang. He is the reigning attacker of the year winner, also an all-conference first-teamer. We had a chance to catch up with head coach Pac Championsips before the matchup. Well, Coach, a long season to finally get to this point. You're here now in Mesa. Obviously, a huge task taking on Bennu. What's the mood like of the team as you get ready for the showdown?
I think the guys are excited. You know, we're really happy to be here. The whole goal of the season was to make it to postseason and have put ourselves an opportunity, a chance to compete for a championship. So now that we're here, the guys are hyped, they're ready, and they're ready to just compete. So 9-13 overall, 6-6 in conference play. Give us kind of an outlook of how your team is playing as you head toward the tournament. I think we're finding our stride. You know, we had a really competitive game against Western coming in, and we think they're one of the better teams in the country. And so we're finally gelling, we're finally meshing with the people that we have. And a lot of guys are stepping up in different ways. And so we're finding different rotations and finding different guys to put in that can help us win a couple points here and there. I think that can be a difference maker between really close sets. Yeah, Coach, and you kind of talk about the skill set of your team. You've got plenty of skill throughout, and you got some big-time hitters on the outside, Chris Morikawa, as well as Ryan Kilgore, and I didn't know those guys are going to have to step up and play big.
big.
Absolutely. I think that's going to be a big battle on the pins. Benyu has really good pins, so our pins will have to at least match what they're doing. Chris is going to always be our guy. He's always been our guy for the past 4 years, and so we're expecting him to have a big game, and then everyone else can complement what he's doing. I think we have a real shot.
You kind of talk about the outsides. Also in the middles, you expect your middles that they got to step up as well.
Yes, I think that's going to be the big X factor for us. I think if our middles can step up and be able to terminate and hold the Benyu middles accountable on defense, it's going to open a lot of things up for our pins. And so with Brandon Taylor and Joseph Lingenfelter, those two guys will have to step up big for us tomorrow for sure.
So, Coach, when you look at Benyu, and obviously they're riding this tremendous wave of success in the conference, what stands out about Benyu? What makes them so good?
I just think they're just a complete team. They got great coaching and they got weapons at every position, and there's not a lot of weakness, in their game. They're one of the better serving team in the country, and they're one of the better defensive team in the country. And so that alone makes them really tough to beat because they always can put pressure on you from the service line and from a defensive standpoint with those big guys at the net blocking. So it puts your pressure on offense as well to be able to terminate against those big blocks.
But Coach, in a sense, for your team, look, you guys can come out loose and relax. The pressure's on Benyu, and you guys can let it all out.
100%. I think that's probably the one big advantage that we have is that there's no expectations in a sense because everybody expects us to not come out and lose. And so for us, we can play loose, relax, and just leave it all out there. And we don't have any kind of feeling that we have nothing's pressing us. And so if we can just be ourselves and play loose and be aggressive, I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, 1 versus 4, and you better believe the UC Merced Bobcats. Oh yeah, they're ready to get after it.
So Coach Pachumzi and his squad, they come to Mesa, Arizona, and they believe, and that's half the battle because this time of year, miracles do occur. And they're going to have to play big against a Red Hawks team that, no question, might be the most talented team in the country. We had a chance to talk to head coach Taylor Stallman before today's matchup.
Coach, usually the weather is so beautiful in Arizona. It's sunny, crisp, and hot. It's not this time of year, but your team is red hot. 19 straight wins as you come to the conference tournament. Wow. And the #1 team in the country as well.
Yeah. We've just been working on fine-tuning some details, and we've had a couple top 10 wins in the country to kind of wrap up the rest of the season, and obviously we finished 12-0 in conference, but we still have 2 more matches to go.
And you kind of talk about 2 more matches. How difficult is it to beat a team a 3rd time in a season?
It's definitely difficult. Westcliff, for example, they're definitely coming alive. Same with UC Merced, who we play first, and then Simpson, even their last couple games have been looking really good. So to have to play everybody twice in season and then match up against any one of those 3 going into playoffs is, it's never a great situation, but it's going to make us have to play some of our best volleyball, which I'm looking forward to.
And you kind of talk about playing your best volleyball, Coach. And that being said, when you're the #1 ranked team in the country, you've got the big target on your chest, and you know you can get everyone's A game. So what are you expecting from UC Merced?
I just expect them to come out guns blazing. I think I does a fantastic job with this team. They play super disciplined and they play really well for each other. So I'm expecting them to come out and just, not afraid to really show who they are. So I'm just hoping that our guys can definitely mitigate some of that. They have a really good player in Chris Morikawa. He's a tremendous athlete, and same with Jared. I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm probably going to mess that up. But between those 2 guys, that's kind of their bread and butter, and they have any other 3 pins, middles and pins that can get the job done as well.
For your team, Coach, I know this is just part of the grand scheme of ultimately what the team hopes to accomplish in the course of the year. Talk about the focus and the determination of your squad as you head into this tournament.
Yeah, I think it's been, we haven't dropped a single conference game in the last 3 years, and that's been a huge motivational factor for them. And then we've also been, 0-2 in the last 2 national championships, and so I think the guys are super driven to just get the job done, and this year they want to come home with a national championship, but there's obviously a conference championship we want to take home first.
There you go, Benyu, ready, anxious, and ready to attack and get it done right here in their backyard.
Yes, Benedictine, just a machine, a squad that averages 13 kills per set, 12 assists per set, 8 digs, 2 blocks, almost 2 aces, with a hitting percentage of .335 from hitting percentage, assists, blocks, digs. Benyu leads the conference in just about every category. Now, looking at the starting lineup for Benyu, it starts with #1, Dupree Rogers, the outside hitter. You name it, he can do it. 227 kills. #4, John Dawson, senior, middle blocker. with 153 kills. How about Landon Fuller, number 6 outside hitter, the conference player of the year, 231 kills. Number 9, Simon Jolie, 193 kills, the outside hitter. Number 10, Daxton Tolman, the setter, the junior, with 805 assists. I'm kind of disappointed that he didn't get 806. Number 11, Tyler Watts, a freshman, with 131 kills as we look at this Bennu squad. Player of the year, Landon Fuller. The attacker of the year, Dupree Rogers. Coach of the year, Taylor Stallman. First team, Landon Fuller, Dupree Rogers, Tyler Watts. Second team, Jolly, Tolman, and Dawson. Now Bennu. As we look at both teams on the court right now, this Bennu team knows they're in for a battle taking on this talented Red Hawks team as the starting lineups are being mentioned. And we'll talk about the starting lineups for the Bobcats. Starts with number 5, Toby Miller. Just a fantastic setter with 610 assists. Number 6, Jared Guglielmana, a junior outside hitter. Honorable mention conference player. Middle blocker, Joseph Lingenfelter, who's had a great season for the team. 93 kills, 57 digs. In the middle, Brennan Taylor, sophomore middle blocker with 61 kills. Junior setter, Keikoa Soma, who is so solid, can dig just about anything out with 77 digs. And Chris Morikawa, the senior, wants to go out with a bang, 263 kills. Once again, he leads the conference in kills per set with almost 4. So these two teams that know each other oh so well, about to go at it right here from Bellbank Park. And as we look at the matchups for both these squads, Benedictine won both regular season matchups, and now UC Merced looks to do the improbable and pull off the upset. They lost both regular season matchups in 3 sets. Of course, Benedictine on the left side of your screen in the red and black. And you've got UC Merced in the blue and gold. And now we're going to take a moment for the national anthem and the Cal Pac value statement. Matchup between number 1 Benedictine and number 4 UC Merced. And when we talked to Coach Taylor Stallman of the Redhawks, he talked about his team being #1 ranked and kind of wish they didn't have that right now, because he knows they've got the X on their chest and they're going to get everyone's A game. But this team, so battle tested. They won the national title in 2019 and lost the last 2 years in the finals to Grandview. So talking to Landon Fuller and Dupree Rogers about losing in the finals the last 2 years, it's left them hungry, it's left them determined, it's left them knowing they've got unfinished business. And this UC Merced squad, a team that's had its share of ups and downs. They had a spirited practice yesterday, had a chance to talk to Coach Pachumsey as well as Chris Morikawa. And the young man, as you can see, as he was just introduced, he is ready to lead the charge. And for the Bobcats, they're coming in here loose, relaxed. They've got nothing to lose. The pressure, they feel, is all on Benedictine, that is favored to win this tournament. So it's a David versus Goliath matchup. And for Ben U, they are more than up for the challenge. A team that had national title aspirations to start this season. A team that now is, in the month of April, ranked #1 in the country. A team that, when it's all said and done, will be making its way to Des Moines, Iowa for the Men's Volleyball Championship, which takes place April 11th through the 15th at Mid-American Energy Company Rex Plex. And we talked about how dynamic Benedictine was for the Bobcats. Merced averages almost 12 kills per set, 11 assists, 10 digs, 1 block, 1 ace, with a hitting percentage of .242. Last time out, they lost a tough matchup to Westcliff, but they showed a lot of promise in that one. They feel coming into this, in order to beat Ben U, and as you look at Daxton Tolman right there and Simon Jolly, they've got to play a near-perfect game. Service has to be on point, and they have to limit their unforced errors, because if they don't reel those in, Ben U is the type of team that will pounce, and pounce very hard. And this Ben U team playing in his backyard. Ben U, of course, located in Mesa, Arizona. And now both teams exchanging some pleasantries at the net. 1 versus 4. Chris Morikawa, the senior from Yorba Linda, California. And you can see him, the young man is excited, and the Bobcats with the energy and flair. And on the other side for Ben U, huddled up, the Redhawks ready to high fly and serve and spike. Good crowd on hand. Both teams bringing their fan bases in. And how about the Bobcats with the spirited court presence to get them all riled up for this one. Ben U on the left side of your screen. The Bobcats on your right. Make that flipped around. It's Benedictine on your right-hand side in the red and black, and UC Merced in the blue and gold. Appreciate you dialing us up on the Buccaneers Sports Network. Appreciate all the good people at Park University for making this happen. Preston English and his great student body working feverishly to get this one on. And we are closing in on this matchup. First referee for the matchup, Larry Nedich. Second referee, Prito Gigi. They do such a fine job calling the matches, and here come the Bobcats, ready to attack. Lingenfelter on the serve, knocks it across, dug out nicely. And the first silo is fired by Landon Fuller. And Benue takes the early 1-0 lead. Simon Jolly on the serve, and the Red Hawks bench loud and proud. Jolly fires it up. Miller, Brennan Taylor kept alive by the Red Hawks. And it's the Bobcats answering. A fourth hit by Benue. We are knotted at 1. Stepping in, number 2, Javi Laranga. On the serve, Nathan Campbell, the junior. Campbell fires it up. Dug out nicely by Benue. Tolman, Fuller, the soft touch, kept alive. Campbell knocked out of bounds. Benue goes up 2-1, and that Red Hawks bench, highly spirited. On the serve, Tyler Watts, the freshman. Great year for him with 131 kills. Knocks it across, dug out nicely by Laranga. And right there, Daxton Tolman. He's an assist machine and bringing the power at the net. And a 3-1 Benue lead. Watts from Gilbert, Arizona, from Campo Verde High School. Fires it across, dug out by Morikawa. Miller, Brennan Taylor, kept alive by Benue. Rogers, the bump over. Worked in that back end. Laranga fires it up. And fires up a winner. Javi Laranga, the junior, OPP, from Palmdale, California. And it's a 3-2 Benue lead. And Chris Morikawa on the serve. Morikawa knocks it across. Fuller. Back to Fuller. And Fuller on the back end fires up the winner. And it's a 4-2 Benue advantage. And it's Daxton Tolman. Played his high school ball at Perry, right down the road. Tolman fires it up. And one at the net. Good work by Benue. John Dawson on the dunk, and a 5-2 Benue lead. Tolman, an assist machine, 805 on the year. Fires it up, and that one is knocked out of bounds. And the Bobcats with an opportunity. Stepping in on serve, Dylan Jung from Fremont, California. A freshman libero, ready to show its worth. Fuller, Tolman, and Fuller high and hard from that right side. The conference player of the year, elevating and detonating. A 6-3 Benue lead. And right now, Benue hitting percentage early in this one, 7-14. Fuller worked in that back end. And Fuller, too much. Miller cannot keep it alive, and a 7-3 Benue lead. Landon Fuller and Dupree Rogers, they went to high school together at Desert Vista. Talked to both of those young men yesterday. Fuller knocks it across, dug out nicely, and into the stands. It could not be saved by Toby Miller. And a timeout on the floor. Coach I has to call a timeout as Benue is on a roll, rolling off 3 straight points. So Coach Pachumzi trying to regroup his team and regrouping the focus against this Benue team that has come out fast and furiously with a hitting percentage of .714. And Landon Fuller leading the assault with 4 kills already, the Conference Player of the Year. So talented. Only thing missing from his resume is a national title, and this Benue team, so skilled, they feel they have unfinished business after losing in the finals 2 years in a row to Grandview. Fuller ready to serve it up. Knocks it across. Dug out by Laranga. Miller setting it up. Kilgore with a bump over. Jolly. And Ryan Kilgore with the IQ presence. And the Bobcats cut the lead in half, 8-4. Stepping in to serve. Lincoln Smith, the junior. Smith right into Jolly, and Jolly could not handle it. Lincoln Smith fires up the ace, and that draws the Bobcats within 3. Good crowd on hand. And that Bobcats bench loud and proud. And that one's knocked out of play. And the Bobcats talked about limiting the unforced service errors and the attack errors. They've got to be sharp to have a chance. On serve, John Dawson. The senior. Morikawa, Miller, Lingenfelter, saved by Benue, Jolly. And Jolly knocks it out of bounds. Now 9-6. Stepping in, Keikoa Soma. 100. Make that 77 digs on the season. Landon Fuller, Tolman, Dupree Rogers finds the soft spot. And Dupree gives the ball right back to Benue. Dupree Rogers, former Desert Vista Thunder, and he gives it right back. Not exactly what Rogers was hoping for. Now on the serve, Joseph Lingenfelter, 18 aces. Little net battle. Benue keeping alive. Jolly on that left side, fires it home. 11-7. Benue with Simon Jolly, second team all-conference player. Knocks it across. Miller, Brennan Taylor, too long on the return. 12-7 Benue. Jolly going to work on that back end. Bobcats. That one almost drops in. Miller sets up Morikawa. Morikawa block. Morikawa right back, bringing the heat. Great work by Dupree Rogers. Miller set up. Miller with an opportunity. Kept alive at the net and could not be saved by the Bobcats. And you can see that Benue athleticism. They will get after every loose ball. Relentless display by Coach Stallman and his squad. Jolly. And Jolly knocks that out of bounds. 13-8. Checking in. Javi Laranga. Toby Miller getting a breather. On serve, Nathan Campbell. Campbell fires it right into Jolly, digs it out nicely, and right in that left side, and thrown down with authority. Ben Yu, high and hard, now with a 14-8 advantage. Miller checking back in, Campbell checking back out. On serve for Ben Yu, Tyler Watts. Watts, right in that back end. Bobcats keep it alive. Little dink over. And blown down in the middle. Number 4, John Dawson. With authority. Dawson with 153 kills coming in, adding to it. Now 15-8 Ben Yu. Redhawks. And another good serve by Tyler Watts. 16-8 Ben Yu. And another timeout on the floor by the Bobcats. And looking at some stats early, Ben Yu hitting percentage .571. Landon Fuller with 4 kills. Simon Jolly with 3 assists. On the other side from Merced, they've got to be able to pick it up. Ryan Kilgore and Javi Laranga with 1 kill apiece. So Ben Yu coming out with authority and doing what they do. Play flawlessly and fluidly. And right now for UC Merced, a hitting percentage of 0 and a kill percentage of .222. Make that .222. A lot of 2s in there, but needs to say they are down 16-8. And once again on serve is Tyler Watts. Ben Yu on a roll. Can the Bobcats respond? 1 versus 4. Dug out, and Morikawa. Blocked at the net by Fuller and Dawson. And a 17-8 Ben Yu lead. And Tyler Watts doing a tremendous job on serve. Knocked across, worked in that back end. Miller tries to keep it alive. Morikawa gets it over. Dawson, Tolman, Fuller blocked at the net. Jolly setting it up. Landon Fuller, and Fuller knocking down the trees. And an 18-8 Ben Yu advantage. The #1 team in the country, riding a 19-game winning streak, showing why. Watts on serve, dug out nicely. Miller, Laranga blocked. Soma, Miller, Morikawa blocked. Morikawa setting it up. Joey on the back end. Tolman, the knockover. And 1 too many hits. Make that a palm call against the Bobcats. 19-8. Redhawks on a roll. Watts. And that one's out of bounds. Ending a 6-0 run by Ben Yu. And Chris Morikawa looking to add to his 20 aces on the year. And Dupree Rogers, high and hard with a vengeance. The attacker of the year, riding up Bellbank Park. Vertical, about 4 feet on that one. Daxton Tolman, as Ben Yu closing in on a first set victory. Tolman shoots it across. And Tolman fires up the ace. Daxton Tolman bringing the goods. Now with 24 aces on the year. Tolman, and gives it right back. Ben Yu with a 21-10 advantage. Checking in, number 22, Dylan Jong on serve. Jong shoots it across. Fuller, Rogers with the touch. And the call goes in favor of Ben Yu. 22-10. Fuller on serve for the Redhawks. Seabass Marino, the libero for the Bobcats, back in. Fuller, dug up by Morikawa. Miller, right side, Lawanga. And Lawanga shoots it out of bounds. 23-10, Ben Yu in their backyard of Mesa, Arizona. The #1 team in the nation delivering in the first set. Fuller, Morikawa, Miller, Kilgore, and Ryan Kilgore bringing it from the left side. 23-11. Checking in, Lincoln Smith. Looking to do some damage from the service line. Smith fires it up. Worked on that back end. Tolman, Dupree Rogers with a vengeance. Dupree Rogers not only hurting the volleyball, hurting the staff on press row as well. 24-11. Marino digs it out. Lingenfelter. Fuller. Jolly, a battle at the net, and Simon Jolly wins the battle as it was knocked out of bounds. And the Redhawks dominate the first set, 25-11. We'll take a short time out here on the Buccaneers Sports Network. You're watching the Cal Pac Men's Volleyball Championships between #1 Ben Yu and #4 UC Merced. And we welcome you back to Bellbank Park, Mesa, Arizona. It's the Cal Pac Men's Volleyball Tournament Championship between #1 Ben Yu and number 4, UC Merced, and the number 1 team in the country, coming out with the force, coming out with determination, and coming out with an all-out effort, winning the first set convincingly, 25-11. And Ben U coming out with a hitting percentage of .619 compared to the Bobcats struggling at minus .062. And if you look at the leaderboard between these two teams, as we look at the home stats for Ben U, Landon Fuller, the conference player of the year, leading the assault with 5 kills. How about the attacker of the year in Dupree Rogers with 4 kills? Simon Jolly with a pair, John Dawson, Daxton Tolman, and Tyler Watts with 1 apiece. So now it's the Bobcats have got a way to go, and they've got to dig deep in this second set against this Ben U squad that is clicking on all cylinders. A team poised to potentially make a championship run. Currently ranked number 1 in the country, a squad that's won 19 in a row. You name it, Ben U leads the Cal Pac in just about every statistical category. And they came out with a vengeance in that first set. And now we are closing in on the second set as the Bobcats showing some life on the court. And as we look at Ben U on the court, Chris Kissling, Dupree Rogers, Tyler Watts, Landon Fuller, and Daxton Tolman. For the Bobcats, Toby Miller, Joseph Lingenfelter as we begin this second set. Of course, Kilgore and dug out by Morikawa. And the Bobcats strike first in the second set. And that is exactly what they were looking for. Start fast. Now it's Ryan Kilgore. Kilgore set up, and Landon Fuller with a laser cross court. And we are knotted at 1. And Tyler Watts going to serve, and Watts has been highly effective from the service line. 5 aces coming into this season. It's Morikawa hustling. Make that Toby Miller hustling to get it in. And the call goes in favor of the Bobcats, a delayed call. And now the referees are going to talk this one over. Chris Morikawa had that look like that ball was out of bounds, so right now Merced with a 2-1 lead as the referees are talking this one over. And they rule in favor of Ben U. So now it's going back the other way as Watts, the freshman from Campo Verde, worked in that back end. Miller, Morikawa, Jolly in that back end. Dupree Rogers, Landon Fuller with a little bump, kept alive by the Bobcats. Dumped in that back end. Jolly set up by Tolman. And a miscommunication by Ben U, and that's very, very rare. And we are knotted at 2. Good hustle by the Bobcats. Miller, outstanding work at the net. Lingenfelter shoots it across. And that is something the Bobcats have got to control if they're going to have an opportunity in this one. Unforced service errors as Daxton Tolman goes to the line. Played on the same club circuit with Rogers and Fuller. Miller, Morikawa, the bump over, Tolman. And good work by Morikawa as Ben Yu could not track it down. Knotted at 3, Miller steps out. Nathan Campbell stepping in, going to the service line. Nathan Campbell. The junior from Yorba Linda, California. Shoots it across, dug up by Fuller. Dupree Rogers, good work by Marino. Campbell, Morikawa. And we got a net call against Morikawa. And it's 4-3 Ben Yu. Campbell checking out, Miller back in. Landon Fuller on the serve. Coach Stallman talking to Daxton Tolman. Some strategy in. Fuller, Marino, Miller with the battle at the net. And that's a battle won by Ben Yu. 5-3 Redhawks. They took the first set convincingly, 25-11. With a hitting percentage of .615 and counting. Fuller leading the way with 6 kills. Landon fires it up and knocks that one just inbounds. And the Ben Yu Redhawks with a circle of celebration. And they've now doubled up the Bobcats 6-3. Fuller knocking it across and gives it back. Bobcats trailing 6-4. Checking out Keikoa Soma. Checking back in, Ryan Kilgore. Chris Morikawa, the super senior, all-conference player. Jolly digs it out, Fuller. Jolly cross court, and the high IQ point by Simon Jolly. Came into this one with 193 kills. And that was all about touch and placement. On the serve, John Dawson from Mesa, Arizona, went to Red Mountain High School. Miller, Guglielmana, blocked at the net. Miller setting it back up, knocked over. Dawson, that right side, Simon Jolly, high and hard, and a winner for Ben Yu. And it's 8-4 Redhawks. So glad you can join us on the Buccaneers Sports Network of the Cal Pac Men's Volleyball Tournament, live from Burbank Park in Mesa, Arizona. Dawson, Marino digs it out. Miller, Kilgore, and Kilgore blocked at the net. Give the combination platter to Rogers and Watts. Now 9-4 Redhawks. And John Dawson looking to do some more damage at the service line. Dawson fires it up. Kilgore digs it out. Miller. And Morikawa, fierce, grabs the winner. 9-5. Marino checking out. Jong checking back in, going to serve. Chris Morikawa, all conference selection. Jong gets it over, dug out by Jolly. Dupree Rogers showing the flair. A little dink across, and that dink was oh so good. Ben Yu, now a 10-5 lead. The #1 team in the country, running a 19-game winning streak. Rogers fires it up. Morikawa digs it out. Miller, Guglielmana, and Jared Guglielmana fires it up and gives the Bobcats an opportunity. Checking in, Lincoln Smith going to the service line. Bobcats down only 4. Smith gives it right back, and a crucial service error by the Bobcats, something they can ill afford to do in the course of this matchup. Coming up later, we'll have number 2 Westcliff and number 3 Simpson. Jolly, Kilgore on that back end. Guglielmana. Morikawa gets it over. Tolman setting it up. And Watts brings the heat from that right side, and Kilgore knocks it out of bounds. And now a 12-6 Benue advantage as Simon Jolly, the super senior from France, on serve. Lingenfelter, Miller, Kilgore, dug out by Benue. Miller, a little dink across. Tolman, Landon Fuller, and Fuller fierce from the outside. 13-6. And how about the Redhawks? High-fiving as they head to their side of the bench. The squad rolling, and the Bobcats having to talk some things through. And as you look at Benue right now, they just are lethal on the attack with a hitting percentage of .656, while the Bobcats struggling at .037. Benue with 10 digs, 3 blocks. Landon Fuller, all conference selection with 7 kills. Dupree Rogers with 5. Simon Jolly with 4. On the other side for UC Merced, Morikawa and Ryan Kilgore with 2 kills apiece. And of course, the attack leader, all-conference player, Landon Fuller with 10. Dig leader, Chris Kissling of Benue with 3. Daxton Tolman already 15 assists in this one. And here we go with Jolly back on serve. 13-6, Benue knocked across and given right back. So the Bobcats get a break, going back on serve. And we've got members of both squads in the later matchup here. Westcliff and Simpson. Kilgore dug out and blocked by and the call goes in favor of the Bobcats. Now 13-8. Kilgore shoots it across. Jolly. Landon Fuller with the blast from the outside. Now 14-8. Checking in. Keiko Asoma. Checking out Ryan Kilgore. Tyler Watts on serve. Marino, Miller. Kept alive by Morikawa. 1 too many hits. Now 15-8 Benue. Tyler Watts. Fires it across. Marino digs it out. Miller. Morikawa tries to cut down the trees, and he does just that. Morikawa, the super senior. Marino checks out. Lingenfelter on serve. Lingenfelter shoots it across. Fuller. Dawson in that middle. Miller, Morikawa tries to slice the trees and worked on that other end. John Dawson with the winner. 16-9 Benue. Lingenfelter checking out, checking back in. Keiko Asoma. Daxton Tolman on serve. Tolman, the former Perry High star. And the Bobcats get a break. Nathan Campbell checking in his serve. Toby Miller taking a breather. Taylor, Morikawa, Guglielmana, Marino, Campbell, and Soma on the court for the Bobcats. Campbell gives it right back. And another unforced error by the Bobcats. Now it's Landon Fuller. Looking to do more damage at the service line. Redhawks won the first set 25-11. Taylor saves it. Miller. Brennan Taylor wins the battle in the middle. And Coach I talked about his middles having to play big in this matchup if his team was going to have a shot at the upset. Now it's super senior Chris Morikawa, the all-conference selection at the service line. Morikawa right into Simon Jolly, Tolman, and John Dawson. Fierce, bringing it down with authority. And Ben Yu now up 18-11. John Dawson played his high school ball, Red Mountain. Shoots it across, Kilgore, Miller. Kilgore on that outside, trying to be saved by Landon Fuller on that back end. Good effort by Ben Yu. They just come up empty. And the Bobcats have life as John goes to the service line. Knocked across, dug out by Fuller. And good work at the net by Guglielmana. 18-13. Bobcats trying to make a run. Jong on serve. Into Jolly. Tolman. And Dupree Rogers cross court and fires up a winner. Dupree also played football at Desert Vista. Played some defensive end. Found his calling, of course, on the volleyball court. Rogers. Morikawa digs it out. Miller. And Guglielmana. The mishit knocks it out of bounds. 20-13. And that Redhawks bench, loud and proud. As Rogers, the attacker of the year, looking to draw the Redhawks closer to a second set victory. And gives it up. Bobcats have life. Ben Yu, 9 service errors. Bobcats only 4, and they need Lincoln Smith to help the team go on a run. Smith dug out, Tolman keeps it alive. Fuller knocks it over, Lingenfelter, Miller, Kilgore, and Ryan Kilgore knocks it out of bounds. 21-14. Simon Jolly going to serve. Ben Yu 4 points away from a second set victory. Jolly, Morikawa, Miller, and Lingenfelter wins the battle in the middle. 21-15, Kilgore on serve. Dug out, Tolman, Landon Fuller, good work by the Bobcats back end. Morikawa, dug out by the Ben Yu backside. And Dupree Rogers says no mas, high and hard. 22-15. Redhawks moving closer. Tyler Watts ready to serve it up. Guglielmana digs it out. Miller, Morikawa blocked. And Morikawa cuts down the trees. 22-16. Lingenfelter on serve. Knocks it across. Jolly digs it out. Tolman. Dupree Rogers. Lingenfelter on that back end. Miller. Guglielmana. And the big block at the net. Combo platter of Fuller and Dawson. 23-16. Benyu drawing closer. Now it's Daxton Tolman at the service line. Good crowd on hand. Tolman fires it up. Dug out on that back end. Miller, Morikawa. Fuller digs it out. Tolman setting up in that middle. Dawson keeps it alive. Tolman knocked in that back end. Now it's the Bobcats. Morikawa trying to cut down the trees. Tolman, Dupree Rogers, and Rogers. And the violation goes against Benyu. 23-17. Nathan Campbell. Bobcats have life. They need a run. Can Campbell get it to him? And Campbell fires it long. And a bad service error at just the wrong time for the Bobcats. They now have 5 in the course of this set. Fuller dug out by Marino. And Jolly wins the battle. And the Redhawks take the second set 25-17. They took the first set 25-11. The second set 25-17. We'll take a short time out here from Bellbank Park. You're watching the Cal Pac Men's Volleyball Tournament right here on the Buccaneers Sports Network. And we welcome you back to Bellbank Park Ben U, the #1 team in the country, riding a 19-game winning streak. First round, call it the semifinals of the Cal Pac men's volleyball tournament against #4 seed UC Merced, and the Red Hawks flying high, taking the first set 25-11, now 25-17. Ben U, as we go to the third set, must win for the Bobcats. They need to be on a roll quickly to have a chance in this one. And they've got to be better at the attack position, where they're hitting .073 compared to .591 for Ben U. Kill leader Landon Fuller with 8 and Dupree Rogers with 7. Former high school teammates. And here we go with Lincoln Smith on serve for the Bobcats. Dug out by Fuller, Tolman, and blasted over the middle by the Conference Player of the Year. And it's quickly 1-0 Ben U. Simon Jolly, the super senior, dug out by Marino. Miller, Kilgore knocks it across. Rogers, Fuller, Lingenfelter, Miller, Kilgore with the opposite blast. And that one knocked out of bounds. And a 2-0 Ben U lead. And Jolly back on serve. Is that Red Hawks bench feeling it? Kilgore, Lingenfelter, and Lingenfelter knocks it out of bounds. And now the attack error is starting to mount for the Bobcats. Jolly, Guglielmana, Kilgore, kept alive by Rogers. Tolman with the soft touch. And Daxton Tolman showing the high IQ presence at the net. And a 4-0 Ben U lead. Jolly on serve, rips it, Marino, Miller, Morikawa, and Morikawa with authority in the middle. Puts the Bobcats on the board. Ryan Kilgore on serve. Kilgore knocks it across. Kissling, Tolman, Fuller, Kilgore could not dig it out. Too much heat from Fuller on that end. And a 5-1 Ben U advantage. Chris Kissling checking out. Tyler Watts checking in on serve. Dug out, Miller, Morikawa, and Morikawa. And Dupree Rogers could not dig that one out. Morikawa, the pride of the Bobcats, the super senior, the all-conference selection. Lingenfelter on serve. And knocks that one out of bounds, giving Ben U another opportunity. Red Hawks won the first set, 25-11, 25-17 the second set. Tolman on serve. Knocks it across. Dug out that back end. And Miller with a high IQ dunk across. Toby Miller coming up big. Toby Miller giving his teammates a lot of opportunities in this one. Now Nathan Campbell at the service line. Shoots it across and gives it right back. And the service errors, Bobcats now at 7. Ben U hitting
a blazing .604 compared to .085 for the Bobcats. Miller and Taylor. And Taylor wins the battle in the middle against John Dawson. 7-4. Bobcats in must-win mode. Kissling digs it out. Tolman, right side. Dupree Rogers. Morikawa, that back end. Miller. Guglielmana, and he's blocked by John Dawson. Dawson bringing the height and length. And a point for Benue. Redhawks, as John Dawson now going to serve. Dawson fires it up and serves up the service ace. Now a 9-4 Benue advantage. You're watching the Cal Pac men's volleyball tournament semifinal between number 1 Benue and number 4 UC Merced on the Buccaneers Sports Network. John Dawson on the serve for Benue. Sebas Marino, Miller, soft touch. And a violation against the Bobcats. And now a 10-4 Benue advantage. So this Benue team, Coach Taylor Stallman talked about his team being number 1. Didn't really like having that position, didn't like having the X on their chest, but no question they've got it, and they're playing like the number 1 team in the country. As we look at some of the stats from this match, Landon Fuller, the kill leader with 10, Dupree Rogers with 7. Attack leader, Chris Morikawa with 16, Landon Fuller with 15. Dig leader, Jared Guglielmana with 4, Chris Kissling with 4, Simon Jolly with 4. And assist leader, Daxton Tolman, putting on a show with 22. Toby Miller with 13. And John Dawson providing the block party in the middle with 3. Points leader, Landon Fuller with 14.5. And now we go back to live action. On the floor for Benue. Tolman, Fuller, Dawson, Rogers, Watts, and Jolly as John Dawson goes to serve. On the floor for the Bobcats, Miller, Guglielmana, Taylor, Morikawa, Marino, and Kilgore. Miller sets up that left side and blocked up front. Dupree Rogers and Tyler Watts. The law firm of Rogers and Watts gets it done. Now 11-4, Benue advantage. Benue has rolled off 4 straight points. The knockover, Morikawa on that back end. Miller, Guglielmana, and he's blocked at the net. The big fella, Tyler Watts, the fabulous freshman, 6'7", and then some. And a 12-4 Benue advantage. This Redhawks team eyeing another national title run. Dawson, Morikawa on that back end. Miller, Kilgore, the bump that goes right through the hands of Daxton Tolman. A rare mistake by Benue. And checking in to serve for the Bobcats, Ashton Woolridge. Woolridge fires it up. Kissling, Tolman, and Dupree Rogers with the thunder. The former Desert Vista star providing his own thunder. And a 13-5 Benue advantage.
The Redhawks swept the Bobcats in the regular season, both times in 3 sets. And Rogers gives it back. Benyu with now 10 service errors compared to 7 for the Bobcats, but the hitting percentage off the charts. Benyu at .600, Bobcats at .058. Smith dug out by Fuller. Tolman, Jolly kept alive. And 4 hits for the Bobcats in favor of Benyu. Simon Jolly, the senior, no question, he wants to go out with a championship ring. Miller in that middle. Knocked out of bounds by Miller. 15-6. As this Redhawks team continues to show why they're ranked #1. Jolly dug out by Marino. Toby Miller in the middle. Kept alive by Kilgore, that is. Lingenfelter. And that time, the point by the Bobcats. 15-7. Ryan Kilgore ready to fire it up. And a delay in the action. Now Kilgore gets it going. Jolly digs it out. Tolman, Landon Fuller. And Kilgore cannot keep it alive as Landon Fuller continues his offensive onslaught in this semifinal matchup. The Conference Player of the Year. And Tyler Watts ready to do some damage. Watts dug out by Marino. Miller kept alive. And good work by Miller on that right side. Bobcats 16-8. Uphill battle with Brennan Taylor checking back in the middle. Lingenfelter on the serve. Dug out by Jolly. Tolman. Fuller with a little bump across. Lingenfelter. Morikawa. Jolly in that back end. Tolman. Dupree Rogers. Lingenfelter keeps it alive. Morikawa, Kissling, Tolman, Fuller, and Fuller finds the soft spot and a win for Benyu. Benyu drawing closer. Landon Fuller now with a match high 12 kills. And Tolman looking to take aim at the Bobcats. Fires it up. And Brennan Taylor knocks that one out of bounds. An attack error the Bobcats could not afford to have. And there's a timeout on the floor. And the Redhawks drawing closer to a semifinal victory. They took the first set 25-11, second set 25-17, and lead this third set 18-8. As we check the leaderboard, Landon Fuller with 12 kills leading the match. Attack leaders, Chris Morikawa with 18. Simon Jolly, a match high 6 digs. Daxton Tolman with 25 assists. Tyler Watts, a force in the middle with 4 blocks, a match high. Landon Fuller, the points leader with 16.5. So this #1 Benedictine squad rolled through the Cal Pac with a record of 12-0. A team on a 19 match winning streak, playing in its backyard of Mesa, Arizona. Now it's Daxton Tolman looking to draw the Red Hawks closer to a semifinal victory. And Tolman gives it back the other way. And that's about the only thing Ben Yu has done wrong in this matchup, now with 12 service errors, with Nathan Campbell stepping in. Campbell. And Campbell gives it back. So an opportunity goes by the wayside for the Bobcats. Now 19-9 as Campbell checks out. Keikoa Soma back in. Fuller, Morikawa, Miller, Brennan Taylor, and Taylor with the thunder in the middle. 19-10. Kilgore checking in. Soma checking out. Bobcats trailing by 9. Kissling in that back end. Tolman and Simon Jolly misfires. 19-11. And that Bobcats bench making some noise. Now it's Morikawa, the super senior. Fires it. Jolly digs it out. Tolman. Jolly blocked to the net, kept alive by Fuller. The bump over. Miller. Marino. Guglielmana. Good work by Ben Yu. Jolly that back end. Morikawa. Miller. Kilgore with an opportunity. The soft touch. Fuller. Dupree, Rogers. Morikawa. Miller. Guglielmana. Kept alive by Tolman. Fuller. Dupree, Rogers, and Rogers with the laser on that right side. 20-11. Relentless volleyball on both sides. But Ben Yu just a little bit more. Gain the point. Ben Yu now 5 points away from a match victory. Stepping in to serve, John Dawson. The senior. Dawson shoots it across, and that one is out of bounds. Checking in, Ashton Woolridge will go to the service line. Chris Morikawa on that back end. Woolridge dug out by Fuller. Tolman, Dupree, Rogers, and Rogers blocked at the net by Ryan Kilgore. Kilgore stepping up to the Dupree Rogers challenge. 20-13. Woolridge on serve. Fuller that back end. Tolman, Jolly, kept alive. And Jolly with the heat from the outside. 21-13. Now it's Rogers going to serve. 24 service aces on the year for Dupree. Knocks it across. Morikawa that back end. Miller, Kilgore, Kissling digs it out. Tolman, Landon Fuller, and Fuller kept alive. And an almost near save by Sebas Marino. And Landon Fuller showing the power and showing the finesse on that point. Now it's Rogers with the Red Hawks, 3 points away. Rogers, Marino that back end. Miller, Lingenfelter kept alive by Ben Yu, knocked across. And Guglielmana wins the battle against Jolly. 22-14. Checking in, Lincoln Smith. Also checking in, Max Niederberger. should be checking in right after this exchange. Lincoln Smith, the junior from Foothills Ranch, California. And the Bobcats got to dig deep, trailing by 8, down 2-0. Smith fires this up and gives it right back. And now it's Simon Jolly. Looking to draw the Red Hawks closer to a semifinal victory. This Red Hawks team on a roll, riding a 19-game match-winning streak. Miller, Kilgore, and Kilgore knocks it out of bounds. And it's now set and match point for the Red Hawks. And Jolly looking to lay the hammer. In the middle, Morikawa, Miller, Morikawa, dug out by Kissling, Tolman, Dupree Rogers with the touch, in the middle, Niederberger, Kilgore, kept alive by Jolly, Landon Fuller, Morikawa, Miller, the bump across, and the good work in the middle by Daxton Tolman, and that will do it. The Red Hawks, the #1 team in the country, come to Mesa and get the semifinal victory in the Cal Pac Men's Conference Tournament over the UC Merced Bobcats, the 4 seed in 3 sets. The Red Hawks extend their winning streak to 20, and they do it in impressive fashion. 25-11, 25-17, and 25-14. Checking the leaderboard, Landon Fuller, the All-Conference Player of the Year with 13 kills. Your hitting leader, Daxton Tolman, .750. Your attack leader, once again, Landon Fuller with 20. Chris Kissling, the libero for Benue, just amazing with 7 digs. Daxton Tolman, an assist machine with 27. Tyler Watts, a force in the middle with a match high 4 blocks. Landon Fuller, points leader with 17.5. And when you look at the hitting stats, .508 for Benue compared to only .044 for UC Merced. So this Benue team now 23-3 overall. Correction on my part. Continues to play impressively. So we're going to keep it right here. We'll see if we can grab a post-game, post-match interview. And we appreciate you dialing us up on the Buccaneers Sports Network as you've watched in the semifinal matchup between #1 Benue and #4 UC Merced. It was Benue coming out impressively, winning in 3 sets, 25-11, 25-17, and taking the last set impressively as well, winning in 3 sets. Of course, Landon Fuller, such an impressive start to the postseason with a match high 13 kills. And coming this way right now, we'll have the opportunity. Working his way over is head coach Taylor Stallman, who's being assisted, and we're slowly getting the coach on the headset. And Coach Stallman, congratulations to you and your team. We talked yesterday about this squad being the #1 seed, and you really didn't like that because you knew you were going to get everyone's best. But today you owned it, you come out impressively, and you win the semifinal matchup in 3 sets.
Yeah, I think we had a really good game plan going into this. We just try to make it. We know they're a really good offensive team when they get going, and so we just wanted to serve tough, kind of get them out of system. The guys executed a really good game plan.
And you kind of talk about the game plan. Landon Fuller, the Conference Player of the Year. Look, you got 2 beasts on the outside with Dupree and Landon, and obviously 2 guys that have been in the trenches. They've been through the battles, and they brought their A games today.
Yeah, I mean, they've been leaders on the team for the last few years, and they've been tested. You know, they've been on the team in both times that we lost in the national championship, and we're a part of both conference titles the last 2 years. So they've definitely been through it for sure.
Daxton Tolman in that middle always sets up his teammates so well. Does it again today, Coach. 27 assists in this semifinal matchup.
Yeah, he did a tremendous job. He definitely made it so a lot harder for the UC Merced blockers. They had to go pin to pin, and you know everybody was operating, whether we're running Landon in the back row or Dupree in the back row. So it just definitely made their life a little bit more difficult, and that was all thanks to Dax on the offense.
So, Coach, you've now won 20 straight matches. You got some downtime before the next matchup between number 2 Westcliff and, of course, number 3 Simpson University. What's kind of the makeup for the rest of your day before that matchup?
Definitely go grab a bite to eat. That's my first plan. Then after that, I think we'll come back and probably watch a little bit as a team, get some ideas of what either team might run. Just because, again, you have two solid teams that are going to be battling it out for a spot in the finals, and you know, both of them are going to be bringing their A game today. So we're looking forward to watching that as a team.
And Coach, for you personally, look, Bennu, this is right in your backyard here at Bellbank Park, right in Mesa. What's that like to be right here in your home turf? So many fans here locally to support you and support the Red Hawks, you know, journey to potentially a trip to the national title.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome because we're a 20-minute drive, and we have a lot of our guys coach high schools. So tomorrow I wouldn't be surprised if they all invite kids that they coach, and a lot of families will be here as well. And again, being so close to campus, you know, we have the luxury of being able to watch film. Like this morning, we had breakfast as a team, and we had a good amount of our fan base was out here. But tomorrow, I think it'll be even more and a lot louder.
There you go. That is Coach Taylor Stallman. Coach, congratulations on the victory. Get some food. Any preference today?
I haven't decided yet, so we'll decide here shortly.
There you go. His number 1 mission in life right now, food, because food and substance got to keep you going. And right now, his Red Hawks, well, they're well feasted after a first-round savoring victory over UC Merced. Hey, keep it right here. Coach Stallman, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Coming up, the Conference Player of the Year, Landon Fuller is going to be joining us. Coach, I'll trade you out, and Landon's going to be coming in. I'll let you go get some food. And look, they got a great snack bar here at Bellbank Park, but I'm sure you look like a sushi man, Coach, potentially.
I do like sushi, yeah.
Who doesn't like sushi, right? High in protein, so good for you. Coach Stallman, I'll let you go. Landon Fuller, come on in, young man. So Landon Fuller, he's checking in with us right here on the Buccaneer Sports Network, the pride of Desert Vista High School, the former Thunder. And Landon kind of talked yesterday about this team. Sometimes so difficult to beat a squad for a 3rd time in the season, but you guys do it effortlessly and getting the semifinal matchup victory. Your thoughts on what transpired?
Yeah, I mean, our scouting report is huge for us and the other team's tendencies and knowing what they're going to run, when they're going to run it. And we just stuck to our game plan, and it worked out in our favor. Yeah,
and for you and this squad, what's it like to be right here in your backyard? Look, you got the fans locally, you got family members here, and look, I mean, even though you got the X on your chest, look, kid, you're in your backyard, man. This got to be a good feeling.
Right, yeah, no, it's awesome. Seeing everybody, familiar faces and everybody out here supporting us, it really does feel like we have a little bit of an advantage today.
Yeah, and what's it like for you and Dupree? Look, this has been a journey for you guys. You've been high school boys since your days back at Desert Vista, and here you guys are. And the only thing missing from your championship resume, of course, is that national title. And I know you guys are on a quest. Talk about the quest and starting right here in Mesa.
Yeah, we've been on a run the past couple years and been putting our name out there, putting them on the boards. And for me and Dupree, we had the same goal in mind, and that's to win that national championship. But it's been fun over the years, you know, pushing each other in practice. We're always going against each other and making each other better. So it's been fun.
Yeah, and for you personally, here you are. And once again, the postseason accolades continue to ring in. The Conference Player of the Year yet again. What does that mean to you?
Feels good, you know. It means that it makes me feel like a lot of people are looking up to me, and I got a role to fill. So adds a little bit of pressure, but like I said before, being at the backyard takes that right away. So.
And I just talked to Coach a second ago. You know, he said one of his priorities before watching the matchup later on was some food. Are you hungry as well? And if you are hungry, what's on the menu? What are you going for? I recommended some sushi for him.
Okay, all right. Seafood doesn't sound too good for a game the next day, but I'm definitely going to carb up and get that protein in, so that's what I'm going to be shooting for.
Before I let you go, give us your thoughts on the matchup between number 2 Westcliff and number 3 Simpson.
It's going to be a good one. You know, both teams have their strengths and both teams have their weaknesses. It's just going to be able to, whoever's going to exploit them better, you know? Whoever's going to be able to put their foot down and get going from the start.
There you go. That is the Conference Player of the Year, Landon Fuller, with a match-high 13 kills. Landon, my pleasure, my man.
Thank you very much.
Have
Thank
a good
you.
one. That is Landon Fuller, as top-ranked Ben U gets the first round victory in the semifinals against UC Merced in 3 sets. Now, coming up a little later on, we'll have the matchup between number 2 Westcliff and number 3 Simpson University right here from Bellbank Park, and plenty of action from the Cal Pac men's postseason tournament right here from Mesa, Arizona. And this is coming to you live on the Buccaneers Sports Network. For all the good people in the Buccaneers Sports Network, like Preston English and all his great support staff, all the great student athletes working so hard to make this happen, I am Joe Pequeno. We'll see you in a couple hours right here for the next matchup on the men's Cal Pac Conference Tournament semifinals in Mesa, Arizona.